welcome to Teotihuacan. This is the Pyramid of the Sun complex. It's not just the one massive pyramid that is nearly 300 feet tall, even now. Maybe it was taller. I don't know how that works. But I'm going to sort of fly down the length of this for the moment and track, because look at that. There was a lot of work put into this. Two massive pyramids, one on the far end of this great road. And let's see if the parachute's good. So far, so good. Altitude is 1,800 feet, and I feel fine. So we're looking at something that was built so long ago that we can't even quite grasp its age. We don't really know, because it was built of stone and you can't carbon date that stuff. So now it's just a matter of guessing based on context, based on things that you actually could carbon date, that is, they're adjacent to the stones. Things may be trapped in between the stones, but it's a guess. Let's ponder the significance of it. Some people are really into crystal energy and pyramid energy, and some people think it's hogwash, but you can't look at something like this and not feel a state of awe. Regardless of how you frame it. It's amazing for anybody to imagine that people a long time ago had enough foresight to build a very robust structure. Something built to last. And they built another one right over there. Can you imagine? And can you imagine if it would be possible to land up on top of this one? I think I can imagine it. Yep. Can you imagine sitting on top of this great pyramid? My knees would be weak. I got the heights thing, ironically, but I would definitely want to sit down and just be here, wouldn't you? And yeah, sometimes when I'm meditating, I want to do this. And then the master says, sit back down. I'm like, really? But I just had this great thought. He says, no, sit back down. It's funny that the silence that we need to ground ourselves and get our minds straight again, you know, get our hearts slow, is boring. The process is boring and we get squirmy. Everybody does. You forgive yourself, right? When that happens, forgive yourself. And focus on this breath right now. Three, 2, 1, blast. Who would not want to have this dream? Low pole. Look at all the people. Wow, can you imagine Just walking around all these different structures. Not just one. That is absolutely astounding. Yeah, I don't think they would appreciate a powered paraglider, even if you were silent. Even if you had an unobtainium power source that was completely quiet, it would be rude. Man, oh man. It is possible to return to the place we started. Now we are over Mount Shasta. Let's take a look. I've never done this before. I love exploring new places, don't you? It's amazing. And to experiment a little bit with new locations, I think is mind-opening. It really is. It allows you to kind of get a sense of a place and then maybe share that place with friends. That sounds like a pretty good thing to do, right? So it looks like top of a volcano right there, doesn't it? That is absolutely gorgeous. I've heard of this place, but I had not been here before, and I don't know that much about it. Lots of lore, apparently. Suppose you can read up on those stories on your own. I have no theory. But I do like to draw one's attention to a place that is absolutely majestic. So you can share in an experience so that you can feel the awe and allow yourself to imagine, well, what if this was real? What if I had the freedom to explore this terrain and do my best to follow the rules of mountain flying? And if something gets in your way, turn. Alright, so I see a really nice line that could be flown through here. That looks interesting. Behind me there's a lot of neat stuff here following the snowfield. That's potentially very interesting. And I'm seeing green coming right up to here, so I'm seeing potential landing areas in that direction. So I'll hang out over the top and meander my way down. Wow. Holy moly. It's interesting, if I go to the right, I have more chance of getting into this. There we go. Gotta watch my angles over here. This is complex. I bump the brakes. On the VR, you would add brakes to float yourself as if you were in a tailwind on a parachute, but on a skydiving canopy, you actually go to rear risers if you need to flatten out your glide ratio, right? If I couldn't make it through this V, I could add rear risers right now to flatten it out. And that would keep me from landing here, which I do not intend to do. What I intend to do is explore these little features and play around with possibility. And wonder what's going on. Is there something significant about Mount Shasta? What's the deal? Is Bigfoot inside there battling the $6 million man? The people from another planet? If you haven't seen that, that's a classic episode of the $6 million man. Let's go steep into here. Really steep on the front risers. It's tricky to find a smooth balance. I had to pop off of them because it got flatter than I thought. I switched to regular increased angle of attack instead of pushing the nose down in a decreased angle of attack, right? When you pull on the front risers, you're pulling the nose down relative to the tail. So the canopy goes faster, but it also loses its glide ratio. So watch what happens. I'm doing trigger buttons, the equivalent of grabbing the front risers. I pull it steeper, and I can lift it and change the glide angle. So I'm actually in control. The only thing is that once the speed picks up, those front risers get heavy. They want to pull up out of your hands. And so often before front risering, we'll add some brakes and then surge the canopy after you let off the brakes and then pull the front risers. And then you can really reduce the front riser pressure that way. Such a relaxing flight down a very strange place. There's people camped out at this mountain all the time looking for UFOs, they say, going in and out of the mountain. Who knows? Maybe that's who helped build the pyramids, maybe not. One can wonder. There's a tight little gully in here. Yeah, that's snug. And I'm not using power here either, for those that are wondering. I'm flying the parachute because this is actually relatively steep. Ooh, it's zigzaggy. A little slalom course thing going on here. It's a flush. I can hear my ski racing coach Crash Clohossi. He always just be yelling at us for being late in our turn. Start the turn early, Brian. You're late. You should be done with the turn by the time you get to the gate. It's true, eh? Thinking ahead, looking ahead, anticipating. Yeah, this is quite a nice mountain. Hopefully I'll find a plausible landing area. And by the way, I have not been doing any cheat code, no power. This is real parachute dynamics. I see a road to the left on that ridge. So what if I was to get up out of the canyon? Can I? If I add a little brakes as the canyon drops away? Not very easily. Just thinking, worst case scenario. Oh, there, see that? There's a parking lot. could have hit that. I wonder if there's something better down the mountain. Looks like the road crosses there. We would put a parking lot in the middle of a river wash. Yeah, I figure of all the things that people could be watching, this isn't so bad. This vibe is a lot more happy and chill and imaginative than so many of the things that people are watching. There's no violence here. There's no hate. By the way, still haven't done any cheat code. I am, if you notice, in a little bit of breaks, hoping that there's something down there for me. I see a road crossing. Looks like there's a road on the right side now. I think the road crossed over from my left to my right. If I could just get down to where this road goes down here, I think I see a decent landing area. I'd be getting small right now. Right? Reduce body drag so that you can improve glide ratio. Oh, I've got it made. I'm going to gather a little bit of airspeed. And I'm going to flare. Push, 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 push. And sink it down in because it's a small landing area. So yeah, the road comes right here. That's plausible. Mount Shasta. Wow. Yeah, research it on your own. See what you find. Beautiful, beautiful mountain.